Hello everyone. I have some news about the FAA's Drone Advisory Committee, and most of you are not going to like it. So today the FAA released their membership list for the Drone Advisory Committee, or DAC for short, and the first thing that I noticed was who was not on the list, who didn't make it. I know a lot of people put their name in or submitted their application to be on the committee. And for example, Zoe FPV was one of them that the community was kind of hoping could maybe be on the DAC, and she was not selected. And personally, I was even more disappointed that Dave, who is currently the president of the FPV Freedom Coalition and is also heading up some of the subcommittees of the DAC and has worked with the DAC quite a bit in the past year, and I thought for sure he had a really good shot at it and had some great recommendation letters and everything else. But I'm sad to say he also was not selected to become one of the members of the DAC. And another surprise was the people that were on the DAC that have been removed. Two of those people, one of them being representation from the AMA. So the AMA doesn't have a representative on the DAC anymore. Some people would argue that the AMA wasn't representing their needs very well on the DAC, but either way, doesn't matter now. I guess they're not on the list anymore. And another surprise was to see that Brendan Schulman, who's with DJI, is also no longer on the DAC. A lot of you will probably remember him as one of the few people who stood up during one of the live streams of the DAC meetings and actually defended recreational pilots, recreational use of the airspace. And definitely sad to see that he's no longer going to be on the DAC. So despite all of those disappointments, you might be wondering who did get on the DAC and is there any hope? And yes, there is still hope because there were two members added to the DAC, and let's see, they call them citizen UAS operators. And these two people are very active in the drone community, one being Kenji Sugihara and the other being Vic Moss. And as far as from the perspective of an FPV pilot like myself, I'm very happy that they are working closely with people like Dave Messina from the FPV Freedom Coalition. And at least according to their Facebook posts, they're definitely willing to take advice, and I have no reason to doubt this. I'm sure they will communicate quite a bit with the FPV Freedom Coalition and be open to that community's input. Now, of course, there's not a whole lot these two people will be able to do on the DAC. I mean, they're vastly outnumbered by all the other people on the DAC. But as we have seen with Dave Messina, even though he wasn't even an official DAC committee member, he was able to lead some of the DAC tasking groups and give a lot of input into the DAC. And hopefully the FAA actually listens to what some of these people have to say as part of the DAC. And finally, one more bit of good news is that from the last DAC meeting, it looked like, what's his name here, Burgess. That James Burgess, who is the CEO of Wing, which is Google's drone company, he was making comments that made it sound like he definitely understands some of the issues that recreational hobbyists have for the airspace, and hopefully he'll also step up and make some of the comments that like Brendan Schulman had been making in the past. But of course, this is just an advisory committee. The FAA doesn't have to listen or doesn't have to take their recommendations, and only time will really tell. But some good news, mostly bad news. Not sure what else to say. If there's something I missed or if you've got any questions about the DAC, definitely leave me some comments below. And thanks for watching.